talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Corsicana, Texas. What's going on, DFW? What's up, Houston, Texas? Thank you for tuning in and welcome back. I am the co-host, and along with the host of the show, I go by the name of Mr. Know-It-All. And introducing the team, well, we got the first lady of Brandon Cole's podcast. We got Educated Queen. Give it up for Educated Queen. Give it up for my man, gentleman Jamal, representing the Dallas Cowboys. And last but not least, our genius, our big guy in the middle, bougie weirdo, B-Dub. What's up, everybody? Give it up, everybody. Yes, and we are the Brandon Coles podcast. We are the Brandon Coles podcast where we say what needs to be said. We have hot topics, trending conversations, and we also do interviews and burning information. So this is Tuesday night, everybody, and we know how we definitely get down. And first, before we get started, we gotta definitely ask, how's everybody doing out there on this Tuesday night, fellas? The panel, what's going on, everybody? EQ, gentleman Jamal, bougie weirdo. What's up on this Tuesday night? What's going on?
It's a beautiful, beautiful week. Cowboys win. Saints lost. Steelers lost. This is a good week. Houston lost. It's a beautiful week.
Right. But it would have been even sweeter, Jim Jamal, if we would have got at least the Giants and the Eagles would have lost. It'd have been even sweeter. But they got their wins, and we got to definitely respect that. So yeah. But
we had to take down another division rival. We had to take down Washington. We had to clean up our own division a little bit. Washington is next.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre.
Yep.
You enjoy it. Fly Eagles. Yeah. Cowboys.
See, real Cowboys fans, we're not sweating that Eagles fan. We're gonna let y'all have it right now. Y'all go ahead and get your shine right now. But
we're not used to that shine, so let them enjoy it for now.
Yeah. Make sure you just watch what you got coming up with Arizona now before you get to us. Take care of that first. Then the week after that, get ready for us. But yeah, we not really worried about none of that. So let y'all have it right now. Golf clap, golf clap. So that's what we doing. EQ, how are you doing this Tuesday, EQ?
Hey, baby, I'm good. I'm just blessed to be above ground. I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, I thought for some reason it seemed like you froze on your end, whatever. But you're good now. You're good. But other than that, on my end, Tuesday, it's I always look.
Yeah, no, my connection is shaky.
Say it again. Okay. But yeah, on my end, Tuesday.
My connection is a little shaky. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We got you. But yeah, on my end, everything is good. So Tuesday, I look forward to Tuesday nights, and looking forward to just another great show with everybody and talking to everybody, and just just having a great time. Get some knowledge out here and putting our thoughts and comments out there. So we're looking forward to that. So you guys ready to get started tonight?
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
But before we get started, gotta definitely say, you guys in the comment section, if you want to comment on the show, hit the comment section. You go to the screen there in the comments, and you can put your comments into the comment section as well, and we'll definitely read them out. If we're able to get to them, we'll definitely do that. Also, if you want to call into the show as well, you can definitely go into the top of the comment section. You'll see the two streams for Facebook and YouTube, so that way you can be able to call into the show. We'll bring you on, but you got to be civil. You can't, be provocative or using cuss words and things like that or whatever, because we'd definitely have to put you out.
Nah, bring it.
Yeah, bring it. Let them come in with that.
We quick up here. We will clap back.
Yeah, tell them come on with the smoke.
Okay, you want the smoke, huh? Okay, all right. Well,
All the smoke.
Yeah, so we ready. We got some the co-hosts. We shoot from the hip. So but we thank you guys for showing for following make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also hit the subscription button as well if you have not done that. That is the way, so that way we can be able to make the show grow, progress for in the future, and to let us know that that we're doing great with the show and you guys like the content. So that is the subscription is free 99. It don't cost you a penny to do that, but that will definitely help us out. It's more valuable than money. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the topic of the conversation today. We're gonna do a part two of part one. Why do we hate for another? Why do we have hate for another in our communities? And the last thing that we talked about in the show last Tuesday, we had talked about a lot of different contributing factors on why we hate each other in our communities. One thing I want to talk about that we touched on just a little bit last week, but we're talking about some of our elders and a lot of our elders in our communities. We do have some wise individuals there in our communities, but we also have some unwise individuals as well. Some of our elders are leading our kids, to a path of destruction, and for some reason our elders feel that they maybe they are afraid, or maybe they just want to go along to get along with these youngsters, but they're not correcting the behavior inside our communities, which causes a lot of riffraff and a lot of misunderstanding and misguidance inside our communities. So my question is this, you guys: how important, or how important is it for our elders to step up? Because in our generation, we know how important it was for elders. We had a lot of respect for them then. Now it just seems like the respect is out the window. Do you guys? How important is it, and is that a contributing factor in you guys' mind as far as like uh, with the guidance and leadership and inside or outside of our communities? How do you guys feel about that?
The elders are essential to our community. Right, we learn a lot from those that came before us. Much respect to the ancestors, the elders. They are the first teachers. With that being said, the dynamics of what parenting is, or the idea of it takes a village, has become lost as time goes on. There was a time when any adult on the block in the neighborhood was allowed to discipline or talk to you, tell them they out of line, all this stuff. Now, you can't tell my kid you can't do this and all this. No, everyone looked out for each other, right? That essence, that whole dynamic has been lost. Why? I don't know why. I can't place a finger on why, but it has, right? Even in schools, right? If the teacher, when I was teacher called, parents gonna address you. Why are you acting up in class? Teacher call now, they want to go up there and fuss at the teacher. Why you know? Because your child is bad. And a lot of these topics we talk about, there seems to be a common denominator: parenting, right? The elders or generation. It took. There were a lot of. I was fortunate. There were men on my block, and not necessarily just my father, right? There were my friends' fathers, right? We saw males and understood and were taught and disciplined by males, and it wasn't no problem. Now, either the father is not there, or the parents don't accept or don't want anybody else telling their kids anything. But you can't watch your kid all the time. You don't see your kid in action all the time, but you don't want nobody to tell your kid what to do. So, not enough solutions, a lot of problems, not enough solutions for sure. And I think, like we talked about, we should get to some solutions. But to answer your question, the elders are very, very important. They know a lot. Like, nobody gets to an elder age by being stupid or dumb, right? That person got to that age for a reason. They got some game.
Or we talking about then, or we talking about later, or we talking about now, Gentleman Jamal? Sorry to interrupt you.
Well, so like even now, so whoever we call elders now, right? The knowledge is passed down, right? I learned parenting or discipline from my parents. They learned it from theirs. Now we refine it. We may say, well, I don't need to hit my kid upside the head every time he do something out of line, which before that was different. But if you notice, your parents look at what your kids do differently than what you. I'm like, when I did it, it was the end of the world. But when the grandkids do it, it's a kindly, gentler approach.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so that's just how it is now, right? I can't say that then or now. It's just as you age, as you mature, as you look at things different, your perspective changes. I don't know, but I know my children will do stuff. I'm like, well, y'all, they soft. I'm like, when I
Mhm.
did that,
Yeah.
I was destroyed.
Right,
And
right.
if you're an older parent, if you enter parenting age at the older age, you notice you were different than you were when you was a young parent. So it's up. And again, each generation has to improve upon the next. That's how we get. This is how evolution happens. We have to do better than the last generation. The last generation did what they could with the knowledge they had. Now we got more knowledge. Now we need to do better, and then the generation that comes after us, then it's their responsibility to then what do better.
Right. But we have more knowledge though, General Jamal. But for some reason, our the knowledge that we do have, we seem like we're making the our decision making. It's not there. It makes it seem like we don't even have the knowledge with some of the stuff that we pull and what we do on a regular basis, especially with the elders, just with people general period. Like I said, we got a lot of information on our phones and computers and different devices, but the decisions that we make still is just very questionable, you know. And going back to the elders, some of I think that in the past, the elders were a little bit more wiser than what we have going on right now for some reason. And I'm like you, I have no idea on exactly what happened and where we got that, why is it like that? But I've seen some people make some questionable decisions out there, elderly people. Like I said, they sit back and just watch a lot of this stuff that goes on in our communities. Either they are part of it or they're very silent about it. And when you're silent, to me, that is just as much as like you involved with everything with you being silent. Nobody don't want to be outspoken anymore. What's going on, EQ? What you got?
So there's been a disconnect. We've basically have disconnected somewhere from that wisdom and knowledge that's been from our elders. And at some point, it's not on the elders. It's all of our responsibility. Um, and yeah, our parents have become softer, which makes us softer, which makes the generation behind us softer. However, and we can't place it all on the elders because you got to also understand back when we were growing up, we didn't have social media. We didn't have the advancement of technology like we do now. There are a lot of things that over time that have improved or came about that we didn't have growing up. The village was a real village, but for some strange reason or whatever, it got to that point to where, oh, you can't discipline my kid, you can't tell my kids. So that within itself is disrespect. We teach disrespect in our homes. We teach it, okay? Because if I'm telling Miss Pearl she can't tell my child what to do when my child was out there cussing, then I'm teaching my child to be disrespectful. That's basically what it is. And now we have social media, you have music, you have Hollywood raising our children because you got parents out here trying to live they best lie, and not wanting to be held accountable and be responsible for teaching their children those same morals and values that were instilled in them. So
Yeah,
it's up to us to teach these kids, you know. But because now we live in a world where social media, we can put on these facades and be these put on these images of who we want to be and make people think we have this, that, and the other, and we lying to ourselves.
Right, right. And when we're lying to ourselves, that is a heavy burden that we put on in our communities or whatnot. And that can definitely be a deterrent factor as well when we lie to ourselves. that can definitely set us back as well because because of that type of mindset that we have. So,
Right.
B W, you got something to add on that?
Well, I think the shift was because the knowledge has been passed down, but there's having knowledge and then there's applying knowledge, and somewhere along the
Hmm.
way we stopped applying knowledge and we allowed our emotions. The emotions are not supposed to guide you. Your brain is supposed to guide your emotions, but whoever, whenever it happened, at some point that started to flip. And the more advanced we got, the more technology, especially with the advent of social media, it just pushed it further and further away. And I think a lot of people have given up, honestly,
Right.
because now I can go on social media and I could say, I'm a great dad. I could post one thing that I did one day with my child and say I'm a great dad, and 5,000 people gonna agree with me just based off that one post. Yeah, you go. That's right. That's what we talking about. He's a good dad. Look at him with his son, and that might be the one day out the whole year I done seen my kid. But it makes
Right.
me feel good. So I don't have to actually parent no more. I can just pretend parent online and feel good about myself. Every single woman on this planet that has a child swears she's a good mother. Every single man on this earth that has created a child swears him down he's a good father. And 80% of them are lying. That's the fact. But on Instagram, 100% of them are telling the truth.
Yeah.
So and we got to remember too. If I was gonna say maybe it was the age, that we're having children because we're having children so much younger. But then I thought about it, that it's not necessarily the age, it's the support system. Because way back in the day, women was having babies at 14, 15 years old, but they was married, they wasn't working, they had grandma was in her 40s, if not 50s, they had aunties and uncles. Now grandma 32. Like
Right.
it's
I do.
literally, they hitting it on the dot. 15 baby, 15 baby. So grandma 35, 40, and already a
Great
great
grandmama is there.
grandmama.
That's great
She
grandmama,
Huh?
right? That's
yeah,
great
yeah,
grandmama
she
40.
ain't
Yeah.
and she ain't grown up yet because she didn't have when she became a mama, she wasn't married. She didn't have that support
Mm.
system. So she got to go out there and work and grind and try to take care of hers and do the best that she can. So that application of knowledge gets lost because even though somebody told you and they telling you this how it go, your situation is different from theirs. So it's like, all right, if I was a woman, like I would be looking at it like, okay, that's cool what you saying, but you was married and your husband helped you. I don't have a husband. I got a baby daddy and he ain't shit. So
Hello,
I
somebody.
got I
Hello,
got to try to
hallelujah.
figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Hello, hello,
And
somebody.
that's just the situation.
Yeah.
And they got to take some responsibility and accountability in that too. But that's besides the point. That's just the situation, regardless of who's responsible and how we got there. So now I just got to try to figure it out best I can, which don't usually go well. And then if you got a child and now your son, you got two, three little girls coming up to your door saying your son that got them pregnant, or your daughter done came home talking about she 2 weeks late from her. Like
Did not.
it's just a spinning wheel.
Yeah. Right, right, right. Before we play this video, we have some comments in the comment section. So Barbara Sims says, hello, beautiful Brandon Cole's family. Hello, Barbara Sims. How are
Hey,
you? Thank you for
mama. Hey,
joining.
mama.
Chastity Porter says, good morning, everyone. And she says, sorry, evening. And then she says, we have knowledge, but no wisdom as how to apply the knowledge we have obtained. I agree with that 1,000%. And she said, that's why God's order for family works. You are absolutely right about that, Chastity. We appreciate you for tuning into the show. So the video that we're going to get ready to play, all right? So we're talking about elders and we're talking about older people, guiding the youngsters in our communities. Well, there is an NBA basketball player, Steven Jackson, all right, and
Former.
former NBA basketball player, Steven Jackson. You probably recognize him He's one of the players that was involved in the Malice in the Palace in Detroit when they played against the Ron Artest Indiana Pacers. That the fight ended up leading inside the stands. So Steven Jackson goes to O Block, and we're gonna play the show from there. And tell me what you guys think about that. When we'll give you our commentary afterwards. So here we go.
I'm out there in the shop right now, on the corner taking me a smoke break. I met this young black brother.
Yes, sir.
Got the dessert business. Tell them where you from, where we at, and what.
Hey, man, shout out to Stack 5, man. My name Jay. I'm from the west side of Chicago. My company called Lula and Grandson Snacks, man. I got desserts. You can hit me up. I do vending machines as well if you want to learn how to invest.
What's up
hit
with
me
you,
up,
boy?
man. Lula _ Grandson Snacks. Lula _ Grandson Snacks, man. Follow me. Hit me up.
Hey, man, tap in. This how you support black business. And I'm gonna post this info on my page.
Yes,
Chicago.
Sir.
And he shipped, right?
I ship it overnight, whenever you need it, I got you.
All right, y'all tap in.
A lot of y'all been whole block pulling up, taking pictures. Where we at?
Tell them how they come.
We in the middle of it. What you mean, nigga? Y'all pull up and take pictures and y'all not allowed to. And one thing about it, if you're a real one, you don't mind checking in.
Checking in. What'd you say?
I check in with the real one. That's why I'm in the middle of old block.
Where you at?
You see the hoop?
Where you at?
I'm in the middle of old block. You mean? Listen, man.
What the people's be, you know what I'm saying? What the real people's be, man.
You can't pay for. No rap cap. You can't pay for. You mean? We really out here. Old block. Chi-Town. Rest in peace, King Vaughn. We in the middle of old block, ain't we? Quit playing, man. I'm everywhere, you never there.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
So there you have it. Steven Jackson in the middle of O Block with the youngsters. The beginning part, hey, Mac, excellent job, Steven Jackson. You put that brother, the brother that was an entrepreneur. You are giving him some props, and you're excited for the youngster and you want to support his business. Great job, Steven Jackson. That's what I felt that you should have went to O Block to actually go and do. But you go to O Block and you're doing a lot of clout chasing, and that little youngster that you saying that you're checking in, and that youngster could have been your great grandson. That's how I looked at it, and it's just to the point to where when you sending the wrong signal and the wrong message out there to the youngsters, when you got this ex-former NBA basketball player that's, this guy's probably, late 40s, early 50s, going into the neighborhood and talking to youngsters in that type of fashion and talking about checking in and checking out, and you ain't there and never there and wearing your jewelry. It just sending the wrong message to me. And I felt that right there was that was not a good look for Steven Jackson, for him to pull that thing like that, because he's there for a different he got a different agenda there, because if that old block area, it's a notorious gang field, people losing their lives, youngsters out there killing each other back and forth, and this guy comes there with his camera and his jewelry on and clout chasing, and and got a whole other agenda out there with these youngsters. And I just think that
All,
was a horrible look, man. I didn't like it at all. And it
all I
wasn't
kept
those youngsters out
hearing,
there.
all I kept hearing was Fred Sanford in my head going, "You big dummy." Like he looked like that uncle, you know, that uncle that used to be the coolest cat in town, but he never lived up to any of his potential. Now he come to the family reunion and be trying to hang with the youngsters, talking about, yeah, when I was y'all age, well, y'all don't know nothing. Like he looked like a clown. He looked like a straight clown. And even in the beginning, yeah, he tried to help the young brother out, and hopefully something come of it. But my thing is this: you got connections. Why you not setting a meeting with that young brother? Say, let me get all your information, see what's been going on, what you got going on, and go tap in with some of the people that actually got money that could really do something for this young man. That could get his product in the grocery stores or something like that. I mean, I get it, posting it on your social media, that's cool. Some of your followers might support him, and maybe he'll make a little extra money, and that's great. I'm not knocking it, but that's just a stopgap. Won't you actually put him in position and put him around some people that can really get him somewhere? And then you checking it. Listen, I'm sorry. If y'all ever see me somewhere hanging around some kids talking about checking
Checking
in,
in.
just go on, put the metal to my head.
Right.
I give you
Checking
permission,
in nowhere.
cause I'm
Be
I'm I'm
weirdo.
I'm
I don't
out of
get
there.
down like that. I don't get down like that. I'm not checking in nowhere. No way. If I want to go somewhere and enjoy myself, I'm gonna definitely do that. But I'm not
And
gonna put
then,
myself in a
but
position to be
listen,
in that kind of spot like that. Just can't
Yeah.
do it.
but check this out. If you gonna do that, do it in a grown man way. Why are you there with all that jewelry on, trying to act like them? If you supposed to be uplifting them, you should be there looking like a grown ass man, teaching them like, hey, this how you supposed to move. This, but like I said it before, like the adults trying to act like the kids.
Right.
That's the
So
problem.
who leading who?
Right, right. I'm telling you, he should have. If he's gonna be hanging out old block with those youngsters like that, beat up, just like you said, man, he should have been there with that wisdom, man, and saying, giving them some different leadership and some different guidance and stuff like that, understanding, and not being part of the problem and being part of the bad aura that's going and the negative light that goes on in old block. He's a part of it, man. You know what I'm saying? He is a part
Burning
of it.
Coals, baby. Burning Coals podcast. Look at
Right,
me.
right,
We
right.
here,
Dee.
baby.
No, man,
We
you can't
here.
do it, man. You can't do it. You can't
We
do
here
it.
every Tuesday. You ain't never there.
Right. No, man, you can't do that, man. You know, that looks
Dub,
bad.
Dub, hit your set again. Hit it again, Dub. Hit your set. Eee.
I mean, we listen, man. We took an L on that one, man. Old cats, older cats, cool cats. We took an L on that one, man. And here's the thing about it. Then he's going to get upset because of the backlash or something that he did. You did that, Steven Jackson. Nobody told you to go out there and cloud chase or make it seem like that you this very very important guy hanging out of O Block. To be honest with you, and no disrespect to anybody from the area, whatever, man. But I don't even see what's really popping for people just want to just go to Chicago and say, okay, I want to go to O Block and see what's going on over there. I don't understand that. I'm not going to put myself inside of harm's way where a bunch of gunfires going on back and forth like that out there. I don't. My thing is with Steve Jackson is like, what did he prove with doing what he did and how
Nothing.
he did it? He didn't prove anything to nobody at all. Because all the adults was looking at this guy like, man, you a clown for that one. You a big time clown, big circus clown. Jim Jamal, like you got some on your mind there, my guy.
I'm gonna let EQ go.
Go ahead, EQ.
I don't got nothing to say. I just want Gentleman Jamal to take that dumb robe off. That's all.
Don't get him started.
They get on my nerves. Oh, look at just get on my nerves. Yes. Okay. So I didn't know who this guy was. Y'all know I don't be knowing like all these celebrity
You ain't into
dudes
nothing,
and
EQ.
stuff like
You ain't
that.
into nothing.
But my thing of it is, if you're gonna go do anything charitable or any good deed, why it's got to be on social media? That is my pet peeve. If you're gonna do something good for the kids, then do just that without wanting the accolades and the acknowledgement, all that. Do it from the kindness of your heart, but don't be out there in the mix, adding, fuel to the fire.
Right, right. Ginger Mom,
The thing, okay, so everyone knows I love Chicago now.
beautiful place.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love Chicago. One of my favorite cities. Downtown.
Centennial Park.
I'm not finna be all up in wherever South. No. You got to know where you at. Uh, Now, Stephen Jack, and it's unfortunately, when black celebrities go to areas that are predominantly black, old block or whatever, they do have to check in. I'm like, I don't know why you want to go. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go anywhere where I have to pay somebody for my safe passage. You see what I'm saying? Um, but unfortunately, that's the way we do. And I can promise you, if it was another celebrity that wasn't black, they lift them on the shoulders and parade them around the neighborhood, no problem. But you do have areas around the country where you do have to check in. That's just the way it is. I know it sucks. You go to some places in L.A., Houston, Dallas, wherever, Miami, New York, right? You're gonna have to pay for safe passage, right? Now, whether or not you think you want to go there, I don't know why Steven Jackson felt the need to go there. Like you said, he could have came on, you know what, I'm gonna come in and give y'all some shine and show y'all a better way, bring some economic, stimulus and education and whatever. He could have came there on that for sure. But
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed he had to pay somebody to get that kind of access that time of night wearing that kind of jewelry and walk up out of there. He had to pay somebody for that. And that's unfortunate. They do need they do need some help. I don't think that was the way to do it. Like you said in the beginning, I do like the fact that he gives shine. We do need, if you have a platform, sometimes that's all it takes. Like he could have done more, but that's something, right? If you got a platform and you out and somebody, give somebody else some shine. And you could have went and got a whole nother, business deal and got attorneys and all that involved, sure. But that's still better than nothing. If I got 1 million followers and sometimes all I do is say, hey, rock with them, and that's gonna give them a launch pad, right? A lot of
Facts.
businesses started that way. So I'm not knocking him for giving the guy the shine and all that. Now the second part of that, just to show that you somewhere where most people, no celebrities that's not from there can get that kind of access without, like he said, he had to check in. Check in, and you got to pay for protection. And then in major cities where you have a very prominent gang culture, that's just the way it is.
But Jim Jamal, how can but even when you check in and go and pay somebody to go and check in, that's not going to guarantee your safety, whatever. It might be the safety inside the neighborhood, but what if there's a rival gang that's out there? You in the middle of a rival gang don't give a damn about you paying for protection to be in O block. If something drop off or happen, it happens. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, that's
why am I going to pay someone when you can't really, if you gonna pay anybody, make sure you go pay the police department, get some security around you. You're gonna pay somebody. You know what I mean? That's what I would go about it. I wouldn't be paying no rival gang to try to protect me, and I could just go get some police escort or security or whatever. You know what I mean? And
right.
that's what a lot of us. Yeah, go ahead.
He wasn't going there just to go there. He wanted to show other people I'm here with the people, and not I'm just here. Yeah, he could have paid 100 cops to surround him and go to that basketball court and took a picture and left. But he wouldn't have got the people that are from there, the people there, to be on camera, throw the signs. Like he wanted to show, listen, I got access that most people don't have without all that. So
Yeah.
you can go there, you can pay an army to escort you there, yes. But you wouldn't have got them on there and made him feel like, oh, listen, I'm here and I'm cool and I'm this and I'm that. That made him feel better. They just saw
Yeah.
him at the meal ticket.
So he paid. So he went and paid his grandson to protect him, huh? The little boy that was with him.
Yes.
But
Yes.
that's exactly what makes him a clown because he's doing it for clout.
He's doing it strictly for clout.
Like there's nothing productive that came out of that situation. Other than the young man at the beginning.
Positive, the second half.
That's it.
That's it. That's right.
That's it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I agree.
And if you notice when he was taking them shots, he had that jacket on and he clanked a couple of times. Then he had to take the jacket off and he hit him a couple. Look, what y'all thought? Like, come on, bro, sit your butt down somewhere. Sit your childish grown man child butt down somewhere, bro. You look crazy. Down.
Right, man.
Like, you look hella crazy.
Yeah, man. He probably had on some skinny jeans and a tight shirt up on, with the jewelry and all that.
If you gonna check in or whatever, okay, cool. Because I could look at it. If he had done this, then it would make sense. You say, okay, we don't want no static. We trying to reach these young men, so we don't want to be disrespectful. So okay, we're gonna check in. But when you check in, you come in with somebody that got some knowledge. Like, hey, okay, this is what we really came here for. We want to be around the people. Now I got my guy right here. He's a financial expert. He want to teach y'all a little bit about finance and how to move. This guy over here, or even bring in, if you got some connections with the police department, maybe bring in somebody from the police department to try to help with police neighborhood relations. Like, then okay, now it all makes sense. You literally just went out there just because O Block is talked about. It's supposed to be one of the most dangerous places, and you just want to say, "Look at me! I came and nothing happened to me after I paid $50,000." Like,
right. That was what it's all about, right? And he took an L for doing it. He took a big time L for that, and it looked goofy for him to be out there like that and doing what he did, and the cloud chasing and everything like that. So I hated to look forward. I hate that you got an older man that's trying to act young and trying to act hard and tough, clout chasing. Everything about it was just, to me, was very disturbing. It was very disturbing.
Trying to upgrade them and make them act like grown men.
Exactly.
He let me act like younger people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what you was talking about, Mr. Nordahl. This is where we lose because I'm gonna teach you the game. As my mama used to tell me, I done been your age, you ain't never been mine.
Right. Yep.
So let me go ahead and give you some game. This is where you need to dress better, you need to do this so you can get some money. Some money. And like as Bougie said, hey, he could have came in. I'm not opposed to checking in if you come in there to do a greater good. Pay them the money, whatever. You come in daytime doing normal business hours and say, I'm gonna put together a program or build a
right.
And offer some something to help the community, and I'm gonna pay because I want everybody to come in and respect and peace. I'm okay with that. But he literally went there at them hours of the night,
1-2 o'clock in the morning,
with that jury for a clout session. Not like, hey, y'all gather around, listen to the OG. Y'all trying to get to the league. I done retired from the league. I'm gonna give y'all some game.
Right.
About just because enough of teaching all our kids to be athletes. No. You need to be the trainers, the managers, the agents, the owners. You need to be focusing on other stuff. No, he's just like, yeah, look at me. I'm this person. Look at my jewelry. Look where I'm at. Mm-hmm. And again, I want to be 21 again instead of upgrading these young men or these young boys. Like, no, I'm gonna give y'all some games so y'all can see a better way.
Right.
He played that wrong. Like I said, the first half I'm cool with. If I'm a celebrity, I got 1 million followers, I just so happen to walk down the street, I may not do a whole business meeting, but me just say, hey, y'all go follow them, shout them out, that may be enough. The second part of that, I can't co-sign.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
definitely.
Right.
Yeah, if you just out and about and it just happens organically, for sure. But Steven Jackson and like Chassie said in the comments, he's a clout chaser. That's what he do. And I remember when the whole George Floyd situation happened, he was at the front lines and claiming to be his cousin. I don't know if he is or he not, but I think it's more so that they kind of have similar features. So he just decided that was going to be his cousin. So you see his face everywhere and with the family and stuff.
We all play cousins, Bougie.
I mean,
family reunion.
But let's not start about that whole George Floyd thing, man, because I feel some type of way about about Steven Jackson pulling that whole thing off as well, or whatever, man.
Yeah,
I
your
so
facial
we might,
expression changed.
yeah, but we might want to bring that up on another episode, whatever, man, because I
Nah, you
thought
know
that
what?
was just very,
I
it was
don't
just
even care
tasteful.
about that. You know who I
Huh?
got a problem with?
What's that?
Gentleman
I
Jamal, get
got
back on the screen.
I got a problem with every single black person that was there. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was there, George Floyd wouldn't be dead. We would both be in jail, but he wouldn't be dead. I
Yeah,
promise you that.
That's right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But Steven Jackson, you got we want you to do better, Steven Jackson. That's just bottom line to it, man. That was not a good look. We need you to do better, Steven Jackson, and hopefully we never see nothing like that ever again. Now I see why you shouldn't, and Steven Jackson. Another thing as well, people are trying to, especially this show here. We're not trying to bash you, my brother. We're not trying to bash you at all, man. But we do have other expectation, high expectations for you, as far as like taking this constructive criticism from all, not only just this podcast as well, but other podcasts that was criticizing you, whatever. But constructive criticism, that is what evolves and causes growth. So that way you won't do nothing like this again or whatever. And if you do get hit in this situation or another spot like this, you know how to be able to be on with some ammunition or on with the information to be able to teach these youngsters. Because that's what it's all about, man. We're supposed to be passing down wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and not trying to be in reverse and trying to be young. That's just the bottom line to it, and that's how I feel about it. So gonna go ahead and read this message coming from Chastity Portis. She says, research Stephen Jackson. He's part of the bourgeois. He claims to be George Floyd's cousin. Yep.
Bourgeoisie.
Bourgeois. Yeah. Yeah.
Bourgeoisie.
Bourgeoisie.
Bourgeois.
Not to be confused with bougie.
Right.
Yeah, he's not the bougie weirdo.
He ain't my cousin. He ain't my cousin.
Right.
So
And you got to be a weirdo too.
so we're gonna move to the next part of the question here. In the neighborhoods, the youngsters, they have been losing their lives and been shooting and gunning each other down. Okay, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but we do have some videos as well we're going to look at here after we finish talking about it, or during when we finish watching the video. But a lot of our deaths, Black Lives Matter, has been seen when we have this black on black crime with the young youth killing each other and shooting each other. But Black Lives Matter come out and they have their organization and they got their different agenda that's going on inside the communities or whatever. But the Black Lives Matter, they have received millions of dollars off of just off of black people's deaths, period, young, old, whatnot. But they received a lot of money from the black males that's been dying inside our communities and whatnot. How do you guys feel about the Black Lives Matter movement? And there's another question to that as well when we start moving forward in the question in the question of whatnot. But how do you guys feel about the Black Lives Matter movement? Is it a financial come up on the backs of the black American, of the black people, or is it just do they really care about us? And my answer to that is they don't care nothing about us. Go ahead, BQ.
No. This whole movement is a joke. And what's even funny is all of us are putting our support. Look at this on the screen. Throwing our support behind this movement, and we don't even know the origin of this movement or the motives of these people who started this Black Lives Matters movement. And as we look at them being in the news for buying all these lavish things, and what about the black lives that you claim to represent? See, this is why you got to research and look these people up, and you can't just support it just because it's got the name Black Lives at the forefront. I mean, you even got preachers and churches and all these black activists throwing their support behind this movement. And just because it's Black Lives got to matter to black people first.
Right. Ooh, that's a heavy one right there, EQ.
Bar.
I can't expect nobody to lead a movement if I don't value my brothers and sisters and I don't value their life. And if I come up, I need to teach them how to come up or pull them up with me. See, that's Black Lives Matter. I gotta respect the next man. I gotta be. I can't be in the neighborhood 2 or 3 o'clock showing off my jewelry. Hey, not one. She said not $1 raise was put back into the black community. But
And that's a fact,
Black Lives
Cassie.
Matter, huh?
That's a
Power to
fact.
the people, huh? You see what I'm
Because if
saying? So
because
no.
if the Black Lives Matter movement would have put up money back into the community, our community wouldn't be in a disarray like it is, like it's in, And from let's get to the video. Let's get to the video, y'all. Let's get to the video. All right. Let's get to the
Big
video. Yeah, let's get to the video.
Having a conversation about right now is specifically about the national
Oh,
chapter,
that's one.
which
B Dub, the other one, right? B Dub is the other one.
No, that's it.
Okay.
of course is led by people like Patrisse Cullors. And again, it has to do with the funding that the national chapter was able to secure through donations and the lack of transparency associated with where that money goes. And more importantly, where some of that money has been spent. So one of the things that's come up is the fact that Patrisse Cullors has purchased homes, okay? The money appears to have come from the BLM donations, and the whole purpose of the home seems pretty unclear. So let's get into those details. In October of 2020, the organization received an infusion of $66.5 million from its fiscal sponsor, an intermediary commonly used by fledgling nonprofits to process donations. Now, let's pause for a second. That money flowed in because of the George Floyd story, because of the fact that George Floyd was murdered. People were furious about it, as they should have been, and they wanted to take action. And one of the ways people felt they were taking action was by donating money to the Black Lives Matter, fund. And so they get this infusion of money, more than $66 million. 2 weeks later, a man named Diane Pascal purchased the 7-bedroom house that would become known as Campus. According to California business registration documents, Pascal is the financial manager for Janaya and Patrisse Consulting, an LLC run by Cullors and her spouse, Janaya Khan. But local activists, of course, are not happy about this, because if you look at what's happening on a local level, a lot of these activists are dealing with, the aftermath of the arrests that they've received for being part of the BLM protests. They might need help with some of the legal funds and all of that. And they feel like they've been completely abandoned by the Black Lives Matter global network. The group formally released a batch of financial information in February of 2021. We talked about this when we initially covered the story, when it said it had taken in more than $90 million in 2020 and still had $60 million on hand. The house was not mentioned, though. Soon after the report, local activists went public with complaints that they felt unsupported by the Black Lives Matter Global Network Fund, despite their pleas for help. And one of those activists, Tori Russell, happens to be one of them. And in March of last year, he actually put out a video along with Michael Brown Sr. And he basically was calling out what's been going on with the lack of transparency, with the way this money's been spent. And he also had a demand. So I don't want to put words in his mouth. Why don't we watch the video and then I'll fill in some blanks.
A movement that is catapulted into the limelight has forgotten about Ferguson and the freedom fighters. Freedom fighters like King D. Sears, Edward Crawford, and Donnie Jones have literally given their lives to the struggle, but rarely spoken about and families are not taken care of. Brother Ali, Joshua Williams, and many other political prisoners from the Ferguson movement are incarcerated or have been and still has received no assistance from Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Y'all got a problem. You got a problem, Black Lives Matter. This is not looking good. This is not.
Really care about us.
They don't care about us, bougie weirdo. It's wild. And of course, people need to be infuriated behind this, whatever, because a lot of black deaths have people upset about it. And the Black Lives Matter movement, they've been making a lot of money on black deaths, and they're not contributing not one dime to none of these family members behind it, and I thought that's what they supposed to put the foundation together for, that charity organization, just to help out black, some of these black families that's lost loved ones in a such a nasty violent way, and their only thing they're doing is worrying about themselves and filling their own pockets up, and not caring not one bit about these black males or females losing their lives at all. So Black Lives Matter, man, y'all got some trouble going on, and I'm glad that a lot of these people that's involved, especially these families of some of these victims, I'm glad that they're outspoken and speaking out about it, because people need to know But here's the thing, though: when a lot of these family members were speaking out, a lot of people didn't want to listen for some reason. They did not want to listen to them as these people are pouring their hearts out, talking about this organization until more people start coming out and then start then it started getting wind and catching on the news and people start airing out the dirty laundry and whatnot. So, but how everything is unfolding with Black Lives Matter. I'm glad that they've been aired out because they've been robbing from the people for the longest, and it's just disgusting to see where it's gone at this point. It's upsetting. Go ahead, EQ. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Expose them. Expose them.
Jim Jamal.
Oh boy. Okay. I think most Black people support the notion of Black Lives Matter. That does not mean the organization. We have to separate the two. That's the same, right? You're gathering all this money off of the plight of Black death, and you're taking them, you're doing whatever you want. Campus, really? All right. See, that takes momentum and steam away from real organizations, real grassroots organizations who are out here doing real work. Because, coming off the, George Floyd's the murder, right? People felt like they had to do something. As you see, it was worldwide, and people felt like I can donate. Now I feel better, I feel better because I gave money. If you gave it to an organization that it never reached the people who you're trying to give it to, but the corporations and the donors felt good because I gave, and it didn't, it just didn't, it did nothing like, as we talked about, it did nothing for what it should have been, it didn't help us. It didn't help us as Black people. It didn't help Black society. It didn't move the needle one iota. It was pointless.
A big nothing burger, Jim.
A big nothing burger. It was nothing. So a few people who run an organization can get some nice stuff. It's tragic. It's sad. It's like double victimizing, right? They already been victimized. We've been victimized, and then you take the money that people donating for whatever good cause, and they use it for their own gain. It's sad. So I try to make it a point not to never publicly say anything against my own people, but that's just pathetic. That move was pathetic, and what's even worse is nobody from the organization has came out and even mentioned like, hey, this was this. Let me explain it. I'm sorry. It's just a mess. So I don't want to get involved. I have nothing to do with the organization. Not, I'm not saying anything. Whatever. Like I think EQD said, do your own research. Do your own research about organizations you decide to donate to. Know where your money's going before you give it, because if you gave it to them, not knowing where your money go, you just as responsible. You funded the monster.
Right.
So if you didn't give them the money, they wouldn't have been able to do what they're doing. So do your own homework, do your own research. Because you real grassroots, like the Burning Coals podcast.
There you go.
Boom.
Burning Coals.
But people not gonna do their research though. That's just like voting. Like people will sit there and will have a passionate argument about, I'm going to vote for this candidate because they're going to do good and they're going to do great and they're going to use all these fluff words. And you say, okay, well, what's their actual agenda that they put on paper? I just know that they're going to do good for us. Okay, how? It's the same thing. Like people just blindly donate to these charities, but I'm going to start a fire right here because I want to ask this question. Is anybody really surprised? Check my receipts. I dare anybody to go through any of my social medias and find anything anywhere where I ever supported Black Lives Matter. Because right off the bat, you got 2 lesbian women that started this movement. And I don't care what you say, Black men is way at the bottom of their list of priorities. So it was never about that. But that's where they're getting all their money from. Minus Sandra Bland, all of their money has come from Mike Brown's death. The bulk of it, the majority of it from George Floyd's death and from all these other men John Crawford that have died, Philando Castile. All of that money has come from the death of black men. And if it's one thing that the pronoun women don't care about is black men. So are we really surprised?
The views of Bougie Weirdo do not reflect.
He's scared. Look at him all off camera, just scared.
Hey,
Bougie Weirdo, hey, he passionate, brother.
You make a valid point.
Yeah, ain't no, when you come watch the Burning Coal podcast, it's the truth. You call it how you see it. You call it how you see it. Sometimes the truth is hurt, but I'd rather be told an ugly truth than a beautiful lie any minute. And that's the truth, though. It's the truth. People don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. Chastity Portis, she says that they made their money off of the backs of dead black men, but they cared nothing from black men at all. It was stated in their original manifesto. And then she says nothing for them. We agree with you, Chastity. They don't care.
Chastity.
Say it again.
That's my bestie.
Yeah,
that's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
No.
That's my best friend.
I'll take it back.
Hey, hater. She a Cowboys fan, so I don't love her during this time of the year. So we like, there you get that off the camera. You get on my nerves. That's right, Bush.
You're watching the Burning Coast podcast. We definitely do it live. We do shows every Tuesday at 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you have not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscription button. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you also like the show as well. It costs you $3.99 to subscribe, and that definitely helps us out. So we're gonna play this third video, okay? And this is going to be connected to the Black Lives Matter movement. I believe this video, if I'm not mistaken, B-Dub. This
is Patrice Cullors, one of the co-founders of BLM Foundation, explaining her side of what went down, or trying to give explanation of how it all went down.
Okay, here we go.
Now, Patrice Cullors, one of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter and formerly the executive director of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. There are three organizations. There's Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, which I'm the former executive director of. There's a Black Lives Matter PAC, which endorses candidates and policy. And then there's BLM Grassroots, that was really founded from the chapters, and specifically Dr. Melina Abdullah, who's going to speak today. And I think it's really important for folks to understand the differences and these entities, as they have different operations and different goals. Same goal for Black liberation, but it's really important for folks to understand that the acquiring of the multi-purpose property happened in October of 2020. For us, it was a huge accomplishment, and I'm speaking specifically to Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. Despite what has been reported, BLM has not been financially solvent. Our money really did come in 2020, and it was really important for us to do a number of things. One, get that money to the ground and get those resources to the ground, which we did, but also secure a space like so many other organizations, not just across Black movement, but across nonprofit organizations do. We found the place and we hired Dane Pascal, who is a known Black real estate consultant here in Los Angeles and across the country. He's facilitated similar processes with other organizations like Community Services Unlimited, which is actually an organization that was founded by the Panther Party here in Los Angeles, and they have a space that they were able to purchase. And so Dane was a natural facilitator for this process. This purchase was made 6 months prior to my resignation, and the property was needed some renovations, like most properties do. We hired a management company to help get the property together for public use. But almost immediately upon closing, the attacks on me and BLM, which also means on Melina and others, escalated. So we did use the campus as a haven, as a safe place. And it derailed an announcement strategy. It wasn't a secret. Conditions changed, and that's it. As you all know, and you've seen, BLM, the organization, but also many of the leaders are under constant surveillance. There's serious security issues. I was called by the FBI twice, but the first time I was called by the FBI to tell me that there was a credible threat against my life. I did stay in the property for 4 nights, and that's it. I stayed there for 4 nights while the FBI was doing their work to try to figure out what was happening with the credible threat. And once I resigned, I never visited the property again. Haven't been.
Oh man. Man, that is EQ. You had something to say before we did the video,
She lying.
man.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
tell the truth. Yeah, do y'all got a Black Lives Matter shirt?
No, I don't have a Black Lives Matter
I
shirt.
just say,
No,
yeah,
ma'am.
I bet Gentleman
I
Jamal
don't.
got.
I don't own one. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I
That
saw.
Gentleman
I
Jamal
had
got one.
listened. But here's a. You know what's
She
heartbreaking
lying.
about it? Yeah, come on, you can definitely see that. But you know what's heartbreaking about the that interview that we just watched for her to sit there and say that she's trying to justify all that. But for her to sit there and with a a sound, trying to sound so believable and trying to push her little agenda, her narrative out there, whatever. Like, you got a $6 million house. Black men, done lost their lives. Okay, we're talking about black men lost their lives. And only thing during that time that you can think about is how I can benefit off of this. You see what I'm saying? That's disturbing, man. That's disturbing.
Right.
I wouldn't even feel comfortable with spending all that kind of money like that to benefit me and not even put not one dime into your community or to those different family members or whatnot. That's the problem that I have with it. It shouldn't come,
This is
man.
And
this
It's
that,
is
just,
It, oh,
it's disturbing. It's upsetting as well. It's very upsetting. And then for you to sit there and try to justify your wrongdoing, I got a problem with that because when you if you're not saying, look, I apologize, I messed up, because when you sit there and try to come up with excuses on your wrongdoing, then you're not remorseful. You don't
and
care. You
that's
don't care
that
nothing
was their
about it.
plan right off the rip. Cause
Right.
she even said it herself. There's like three or four different factions. So they created the Black Lives Matter Global Fund, but you also have the grassroots, the boots on the ground, and the fund is supposed to support them. That's people that risk their freedom, that got locked up to support Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And you supposed to be
Right.
using that money. That money should be getting attorneys to help keep those people out, to support the families of the men that was lost, like all of that stuff. And then she tried to scapegoat and try to say, oh well, we want to buy property like all these other charity or organizations. Yeah, that's true, but they don't buy $6 million houses. You go and rent an office space for your headquarters, not
Right.
not a $6 million home in a gated community that
Right.
you
Right.
then
family home.
and then had to turn around and put another $1 million in it to renovate it. Like, come on, I'm not
for
buying it.
$7 million, huh?
Not buying it.
But you
Right.
notice she said that when they were getting the funding, they were she said that they were responsible for getting that funding and making sure that funding hit the ground. But she never mentioned how that money was dispersed or where it was dispersed to. But now we know, after whomever, I guess the FBI, whoever did their investigation, we know now where that money went. And she also tried to justify, oh well, after I resigned, I never stayed in the house. But the fact is, ma'am, you stayed in the house while some brother out there, laying laying in a puddle of blood or whatever. I'm like you, Mr. Nordoff. That's sickening.
It is.
And why did you resign? The proof is in the pudding, because
Right.
all of this went
Right.
on, and now suddenly the money gets there, and everything's all nice and gravy. But then, as soon as the heat comes and people start asking questions, her partner split. She resigned her position.
Fraud.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
Sound like you running from something to me.
Right. Running from something that's called responsibility. Yep. And you're responsible for everything that transpired. But when the good was good, it wasn't no problem. You sometimes that's what they say about that's that old saying about fat pigs, they get slaughtered. That's exactly what happened. You done got yourself fattened up with a bunch of all this money, and whenever you get too fat like that or whatever, they're gonna slaughter you. And that's exactly what happened. She ended up getting slaughtered.
Yeah, we always got that. It's always that one. It's always that one on the show showing out. But it's and it's embarrassing. I mean, because
It is.
you do all this in the name of Black lives when
Yep.
you don't even care about the Black lives you claim to represent, specifically the brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's And then to see our people, support this movement, this organization, this whatever. I mean, no, no, that's wrong.
Let me ask you
No.
this. Let me ask y'all this though. Is that considered what she's doing? Is that considered as self hate? What is that? Is it would y'all contribute? Is that self hate for her to, to make money like that for black men's death, and for her to not put the money back into the community and pretty much just spend money on me, greed for myself? Is that considered self hate? Would y'all say that?
Well, it's the way she went about it. I mean, stealing from people is not self hate. Everybody do that. But the fact that you put yourself out there as a protector for somebody, and you draw money off of the deaths of people, and then not do well by them, yeah, I would say
The
so.
American way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm, I'm
if you're a patriot.
Yeah, it is self hate, B Dub. Like you said, they opened up this organization saying that, hey, you know what, we support our black families, and if somebody lose your loved one, and especially in a fashion like George Floyd or your or Philando Castillo and the many other deaths. If you're saying that you're going to stand up for these different families and whatnot, and then you back off of it when something happened after you don't made all the money off of those people's deaths, man, you hate yourself for doing that. There's nothing but to it. There's nothing to it but self hate, because you're not going to even, you're not even honoring what you said you was going to do when you created this organization. And you know what? But here's the thing, though: Black Lives Matter, and Black Lives Matter is not the only organization that does this kind of stuff. There's a lot of organizations that do this type of stuff, take money and do God knows what with it, instead of doing what they actually was designed to actually do. But Black Lives Matter, I'm more interested in that, is because, like I said, man, you see these different, you see, a lot of black men lost their lives, and the amount of money that they made, they have not put in not one dime into the community. I have a problem with that. Go ahead, Gentleman Jamal.
But did they ever say they were going to do that?
No, but no.
Right? So the words are important. I want to go back to what she said. She said, I never set foot in the house, right? But you own it, right? You have to set in foot. You're an investor at this point. I bought a house, put $1 million, I'm going to sell it for a profit. She didn't lie. She's careful with her words. Words matter, right? Chastity just put down their original manifesto, says exactly what, and I haven't read it, so I'm not, I'm just saying. The question is, did the organization ever say they were going to do that, or did people assume because of the name that they were going to do that? Right? They never said they were going to help anybody out, and you gave to them. Who's really at fault? Who's stupid?
The people that gave.
I just call myself this, but if the manifesto, if the language on the website, I don't know. But if it says I never said I was going to help y'all. I just said Black Lives Matter. Y'all gave me $66 million, and I went down to King of Diamonds and shot it up. Is that my fault, or is it your fault for being the dumb MF to give it to me? Right? Careful with what you invest in and promote. And like we always talk about, do your homework, do your research, whether it's charitable donations, politics, as I call them, politics. But you just can't believe anything that somebody sells you. And if you do, you have a part to play in you share a part in that blame. Now, again, I don't know, because I'm not involved in the organization. I don't have nothing to do with it. But I don't hear anybody ever saying that this organization ever said that they were going to donate, give, or anything. And if that manifesto says something other than that and people gave it to them, then they have just a part to play in it than the people who are doing that. So
I agree to an extent. That's a very interesting point, and I would agree with that to an extent, because it is wordplay. Because like they say, oh well, Black Lives Matter, grassroots, like they need funding, but I'm the global fund, and I'm saying that they need funding. But if I'm the one saying it, people gonna send the money to me, not them. And you're correct. If I didn't say I was gonna give it to them, I'm just saying they need money, and you can send me money.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying?
So
But
B-Dub needs $1 million. You don't send the B-Dub, you send it to me. Oh, you didn't send the B-Dub, you send it to me, that means it's mine. Because you could have sent it to B-Dub, but you didn't send it to B-Dub. You sent it to Gentleman Jamal, and I'm going to spend it, B-Dub.
Facts.
I'm
Facts.
spending it and the church's money, huh? I'm
But
spending
you
it all.
know, that's but see that's how. And listen, I'm gonna get even deeper with it. That's how the liberals fooled us, because they got us in this mindset of blind support. Just like, hey, just like you ask the average black person, who you gonna vote for in an election? They gonna vote whoever Democratic. We said it a bunch of times. People go to the polls and just vote straight Democratic, like it ain't nothing going on. Ain't did no research on nobody. So we've been conditioned into that mindset of blind support. And you know, you hear people like what's the lady name? TV1, the lady that owned TV1. They do the ads on the radio, you know, buy black. We got to support black businesses. And they'll throw these black business names out there in whatever, you know, local city that they broadcast on. And, you know, we got to go support these businesses. But what if they're not good businesses?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
but we should just go support them because they black. So it's a catch-22, because we want to support us. We naturally want to support us. So it's kind of like, I'm just gonna help out. I can't be there, but I can send some money to help the people that's there. And you know, so we not really doing that kind of research. Like me, I'm just a different breed, because I'm just skeptical of everything. I don't give a care what your skin color is. I'm skeptical of every human being on the planet, because at the end of the day, people gonna people. And I don't never forget the fact that people gonna people, so you can't put nothing past nobody. Like I don't remember what movie it was. I can't remember, but he said, "Don't trust nobody but your mama," and then cut the dick. So
like Kathy Hughes.
Kathy Hughes, there you go. But most of us are not like that. Most of us conditioned to just blind trust and just blind support. So it's unfortunate. So at the end of the day, we absolutely have some responsibility. I say we, meaning the people that gave money, but at the same time, it's kind of like it's a tough spot to be in, because you want to support and you want to help.
I didn't give no money for the record.
Nah, neither did I. Neither did I. Yep.
I didn't have none to give them.
Even if I had money to give, I would have hopped on a plane and went there myself.
Yeah, but most organizations aren't like, if you get involved with the organization, or if you want to donate or send money and whatnot, they're pretty transparent on what they're trying to do or what the organization is about. Am I correct? Because I've never
research.
Right.
If I give a name of something, but on my mission statement it says exactly what I did, then I ain't do nothing wrong. You assume. Right. You assume you making what ass out of you and me. Right? I don't know what their mission statement said. Because again, I'm like B-Dub. I don't do no blanket nothing. No, I'm gonna do my homework. I'm gonna research, because I want to know what you really about, what you really own. Because we've been, as a people, we've been, snaked and led astray by so many people. We ought to be the most cautious people.
Right.
And blindly jumping in. No. I got to see what you about. Who's running? Or where's the money going? Like you said, Mr. Know-It-All. Typically, through Jing, they will show you, this is what we're doing with the money, whatever. I hadn't seen that. I don't know it. Like, again, I'm not affiliated with this. I don't know. They may have said, but maybe people donated under the assumption that it was going to go to the right place. And either way, it's foul. I'm not absolving them from the foulness of it, because they knew what they were doing and they knew what people were donating to them for. All I'm saying is, this is a cautionary tale. Quit blindly giving people stuff. Quit blindly supporting people just because you want to believe. No, do your research, do your homework. Be an informed decision maker, right? We have so much access to technology. You can research and find out a lot of stuff if you look it up, but that requires a little work, and some of us are just lazy.
I know one thing. Panda Express, y'all in trouble with me, because when next time I go to that drive-through and you ask me, do I want to donate my dollar? to such and such research fund. I'm gonna ask you to tell me what the hell am I donating to, and tell me more about this organization or whatever. You know what I mean? Because you ain't getting my dollar no more. From this day on, this day forward, you're not getting another dollar out of me. So unless
Well, they
y'all can
probably
tell
don't
me,
need your dollar anyway, because most charities they're rich anyways, like March of Dimes and Salvation
it's a
Army,
bunch of them.
all
It's
those
a
people.
bunch of them.
Those they're a bunch of them. They don't need your money. What's the
Hey,
one? The breast cancer one, Susan G. Komen. Those people
Oh
don't need your
man,
money.
man, Susan G. Coleman.
come
How long
on,
that's been around? That's been around how
bro.
long? Yeah, yeah. A lot of
How
these,
how
huh?
much stuff? How much stuff has been cured in the last 50 years? They done made $1 trillion for breast cancer research. But hey, but to G Man's point, what did they tell you? Breast cancer research. They never said we was gonna cure it. They
Yeah,
said they
Right.
said donate money for breast
Those
cancer
words.
research.
right. You, Jimmy
You're on
Jones,
mute.
you on mute?
Awareness.
Yeah,
Not
That too.
aware.
right.
Right.
So we can make you aware that it's breast cancer.
Right.
Right.
Do your homework, do your research. And I'm
Right.
not saying don't donate, please, because I don't want the no. They're gonna come. Don't let the pink people come after you. Don't let the alphabet pink people learn them. I'm just saying, do your homework, do your research, and you're right. This is what a lot of corporations do. Real quick tip. Those corporations already donate the money, and then they come out to people to recoup. So when Panda Express and all them, they already cut a check for whatever they trying to get. And then when they ask you to round up and all this other stuff, they trying to recoup the money that they've already donated. Before they do
Right.
that campaign, they've already cut the check to these organizations. So it's not true though. It's not a true. They not really donate. They already paid those people. Now they want you to compensate them for what they've lost. That's just a real unknown little trick that they do.
Wow.
But do your homework before you give anything to anybody.
Right. Right.
Because you could be supporting somebody that's causing your own detriment.
Come on.
Right.
You know, do that anyway.
Thanks.
I go to them damn corner stores. That's another subject. Ooh, I said that.
Watch yourself.
Chassis Porter says George Soros is the mastermind behind the Black Lives Matter. It was used to spread Marxist propaganda. Total control. She said just how the supports were frontline. She should have been frontline with them instead of hiding in that house. Right. Agree. That's a good point there, Total Control. You're absolutely right about that. She should have been on the front line with them.
Exposer.
Yes. She said yes. Chassis said yes, bougie weirdo. Total Control also says just how the supporters are frontline. She should have been frontline with them instead of hiding the house. Okay, we read that one again. And then Chassis Porter also said research the Red Cross and Susan G. Coleman donation history. Chastity, we agree with you. You know, they've been around a long time. Those different organizations with donating and you know, what's the name of the other donation where it talks about feed the homeless over there? I mean, feed
March of Dimes.
Man.
Who?
March of Dimes.
Yeah, March of Dimes, or you know, it has a sad music
Children
with
that Sally Struthers, all the most.
In the arms
You stupid.
man, I'm gonna get
Right.
her this song. You'd be like, man, I got man.
you come home.
That's a whole show.
That'll mess up your whole night. You come home from
Man.
the club, you lit, and you sitting there, and all of a sudden, all the good TV run off, and that in the arms,
Right.
you can feed a child for 32 cents a day.
I don't
Y'all
even.
do
I
that
don't
on the
even
Brother
want,
Cole's podcast.
right. I don't even want to eat my T-bone steak. I just seen like this, whatever. I feel guilty.
I don't.
I don't either. I'm eat mine. I'm gonna send them kids 42 cents and keep it moving. Gentlemen, Jamal, get back on here.
Hey, you
Okay,
know
I'm
what?
sorry. That is not nice.
Forget that. I'm about to move to wherever them kids at, because if they can eat for 33
You
cents
hear
a day,
Man,
Hey, bye, baby. I'm gonna be rich. You hear me?
I'm gonna take my last paycheck and go ball.
Mm-hmm.
With my A1 sauce on it. Hey, I'm gonna send them 42 cents and call it a day. Go on there.
They ain't spending that. I'm gonna flip the channel. Where the remote?
Right?
Well, y'all,
Oh, my
wow.
God.
Hey, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to close the show. You guys got some closing remarks, so that way we can go ahead and close the show for tonight.
I have something to say.
Go ahead, First Lady.
Shout out to my best friend. We are 10 and 11 days away from the best days of the year. My birthday is next Friday. My best friend Chancellor
Oh,
hers is next Saturday. So yes, shout out to the Libra Nation. Get back on this screen. Thank you. So yes, Libra Nation.
Shout
Yes.
out to Libra Nation, but you're a little bit late though. The best day of the year I already passed on September 24th because it all starts with me. The
Okay.
Libra gang starts with me.
Oh, hey, yes. And I just have one more announcement. The Dallas Cowboys will be losing on their next game whenever they play again. Okay, it's my bedtime. Let me stop tripping.
Jim Jamal, you got something to add, brother?
I need to go throw up after hearing all this Libra stuff, you know. And you know what I'm saying?
Go eat your steak, bro. Go eat your steak.
We're just not 1 and 3, so
That's all right.
Stand up.
That's why I'm about to bring another Libra into the world now. How about that? We about to add. We about to expand.
Baby Libra.
In the day now.
Well, the Bernie Coat,
I support the kids though. I support the baby, but you old Libras.
The Bernie Codes give you the bag moment. We're gonna take elders. We gotta make sure that we lead and guide our youth. We got to do better about that. So that's gonna give you that's gonna be the Burning Codes give you the bag moment tonight. Now that you got the bag, what you gonna do with it? Also, look for us next Tuesday. Next Tuesday show is gonna be a live fire. We're gonna do a live interview. We got our very own from Corsicana. He's gonna be joining us live next Tuesday, Mr. Kamar Chambers. Give a round of applause for Kamar Chambers. He's gonna be doing a live interview with us next Tuesday.
Classmates.
Yeah, Kamar, we can't wait to talk to you next week. So this is Mr. Know-It-All, Gentleman Jamal, First Lady Educated Queen, and Bougie Weirdo. We will see you guys next Tuesday, same time, same place, on the Burning Coals podcast. Yeah.